What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the new online, the Mighty Monday Meltdown. I'm your host, Adonis Johnson. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. Click below, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment and let us know how we're doing and what we can do to improve, right? So as we begin to journey through, I just want to hit a couple of targets. This is going to be quick. This is going to be easy, but I want to link to you. I hope you guys are able to understand and hear me clearly exactly on what I'm saying right now. Please excuse the little cheesy smile, right? Welcome as we journey. Y'all already know what we came to do. I need the Invisible Crown Army to show up. We show up to take the front line, in our lives first, in our children's lives, in our family lives, right? We come to hold our position. There is a position for you. There's a position for me. There's a role we have to play in this thing called life. And today, we're going to get a tune-up. We're going to become refreshed. We're going to be refueled. And we're going to be restarted. Some of us needs to be adjusted. And some of us need to address ourselves. What I look to do is assist you with this process, right? We're streaming live from Facebook. And we also streaming live from YouTube. If you own the YouTube channel, I suggest that everybody subscribe because I would do more pop work on YouTube, right? So I'm grateful for everybody to be here at this present time. What I'm looking to do and what I'm here to do, first off, my name is Adonis D. Johnson. I am a transformation coach. We're streaming live from the south side of Chicago, and this is how we make our contribution to the world right now. We've been misrepresented. We've been misunderstood. So when people watch us from TV, from the news, and they see what's going on in Chicago, they only have to say. But if you live in Chicago, we understand that we was created this way. We was made this way. We had to find another way. That way I'm going to help the world understand. It's called the alternate route. We had to find another way to make things happen right now. Things wasn't given to us easy. So some stuff we had to take. That's why we over aggressive for no reason, right? So what we need to do now is we got to call a timeout. We got to call a timeout on life. We got to call a timeout on positions and titles. We got to call a timeout on all the things that will hinder us or keep us from experiencing a transformation. We show up for a transformation. I don't come here to agree with the way you think. I come to encourage the way you think. There's nothing wrong with you, but we need you first to discover the hidden jewels that's inside of you right now. If we can properly ground ourselves, then possibly, right, we can enter into something called self-realization, which will lead us straight to the self-manifestation process. It is an inside job right now. I'm here to ask you right now to ask yourself, what is it internally that's troubling you? What is it that's bothering you, right? Because there's something that can be hindering us and keeping us from hearing the internal voice, right? So that we can have internal peace, right? So we can get our internal strength. The only way we can do that is we have to first address ourselves. This is why we have to call a timeout on the battlefield. What's the battlefield? The battlefield is called life. Whose life? Your life. Your life and my life. And we calling that timeout now, and we getting in a huddle right now. So we remove anything that will keep us from lining up with where we should be right now. Some of us, we need to open up our eyes. We need to open up our ears. We need to really look deep down within ourselves. The music is flowing so that you can see that it is not over for you. This is the preparation for the grand finale. This is a grand finale. Why do I say that? Because whatever it is you've been experiencing, maybe your children might be experiencing. Maybe your friends might be experiencing. For some of our more successful people, you're looking at how you can assist others, where it's very difficult to be at the top and try to address people that's so-called at the bottom, right? Only way we can do that is we have to strip off the things that stands in the way that keep us divided. So we come back in as human beings right now. So right now, this is what we call the timeout. I'm the host, AJ. The wildfire is what they call me. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel as I get ready and I shift. As we go to the next phase, I want to break myself open. I want to use myself to help reach some of the people and some of the people that support, right? Thank you everybody for logging in. What's going on? Y'all already in y'all positions right now. You already know what we up against right now, right? Nothing was given to us easy at this point right now. Some things we have to go take. Some things we have to go take. But one thing we not going to take is fakeness. We're not going to take phoniness. We're not going to take people that's pretending like they like us, pretending like they there for us, right? We're not going to do those particular things. So we have to be real. We have to address ourselves in order for us to heal. We can address mental health and mental illness by first becoming self-aware. That's how we take the alternate route. That's what I look to do. Break down the back to mental health, to mental illness. Let's start all over. We can do that, right? Some people not having the conversations. Today we have the conversations. I know that some people want to communicate. They want to talk back, and we will begin to add them features onto this feed line. But as of right now, we just got to hold our position. We got to find our position, and we got to get in our position. Last week, we was talking about Joseph. Joseph was a dreamer. Yes, I do use spiritual content. I love to read. I believe that any good information that can be used to help us become better people, then it is all right with me. We need to add that on to our life right now. We need to find out what it takes to put on the invisible crown. What is your invisible crown? It's your character and your attitude. It's an inside job. But right now, I'm just making a request. I'm sounding the alarm right now. I'm telling the people, hey, listen, you guys, I'm going to need you to put your feelings in your pocket, because it's not going to be needed when it's time to address yourself. It's an inside job. So at this point, we turn to ourselves right now. We look at some of the things we participated in. We look at the way our family was brought up. We look at our communities that we lived in. We look at the educational system. We're trying to figure out, where did the break come in at? Where did the snap come in at? I will argue the point that it's about our custom. We've been accustomed to doing things a certain way. So now that when we see things taking place in our life, we say, this is just who we are. This is our personality. How did we let our personality shape our reality? We have to change this whole narrative. I was asked this past week, right, to ask you as an audience, are you capable of having a relationship? Is women capable of having a relationship? Is the man capable of having a relationship, right? A relationship with a significant other. And it was an interesting question that I was faced with. And me being faced with that question, I said no. I asked a few other people about this same question. They also agreed, no. What is the problem? What's really going on? I'm going to tell you what's really going on. In order to have a relationship, we must first discover the relationship with self. So I said there'll be two ways we can take. Y'all listen to this. Two ways you can take in order to discover the ability to be able to maintain a relationship. One of those ways is what we already started doing on this feed line. And that is going back into some of the relationships you participated in and just changing the narrative, changing the way you looked at parenting. Some of us, we think we're doing a good job as parenting, but we only acting out what it is we've been taught. We only acting out what it is we learned, what we saw other people doing. Now that we see successful people being successful at what they doing, now we feel out of place. No one's reaching back for us. Well, we have to reach for ourselves before somebody else can reach for us. It's an inside job. So one of the ways is going back in your past, looking at those relationships and changing the narrative by being present with the person that you are right now. Some of you wouldn't date today like you dated back then. Some of you gave everything away back then. And now you don't have what you need to succeed in a relationship moving forward. Yes, you're more self-alert, you're more self-aware, but you will always end up hitting that block because there'll be something missing. It's almost like saying the alphabets, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z. But on your way to Z, there's no M. There's no M. So that means something is missing. And the person that's listening, like, wait a minute, repeat that again. A, B, C, and you go all the way through your alphabets, but you miss M. There's something missing, right? Let me give you a better example for some of us and how we think. If you told me to count to 10, and I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, you say, wait a minute, hold up. Count to 10 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, if I don't know there's nothing missing, then I'm only going to keep doing the same thing that I have always done. That's the environment that we're in right now. That's where we're living at right now. That's the space that we in right now. So we have to address that while we in this timeout right now. The timeout is on life. The timeout is on the battlefield. So we push pause and we shift, right? What's going on, everybody? I'm grateful for you guys that's showing up, even the ones that's showing up late. Please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe, because I will be doing a lot of more work on YouTube. The reason for this work is to help people, right? We have to give back. And one way we can give back is listening to someone that allows us to feed from him and hope that it will help make us better leaders, so that when we go help our family members or even our children, we will be able to know how to stay balanced. That was one of the main reasons for writing the book called I Am My Life Coach. It's a two-party part. The first part is the invisible crown that represents your character and your attitude. The next part is the manifestation of I Am My Life Coach, meaning being self-aware and being alert, right? So we talked about Joseph, and we talked about Joseph and his father and the things that his father brought into his life. We talked about how the older you get and the things that you birth or the things that you create, you love it more because you're more involved in it. You understand it better, right? But for some of us, we birth things in premature states. We tried to date when we was younger. We tried to get sexually involved when we was younger. We cut across the field. We wanted to make money when we was younger. So we gave up on the vision. We gave up on the hope of being what it is we would like to be. And we settled for something called money. And right now, even at this point, we still talking about grinding. We still talking about money. Yes, money gives you freedom to provide you with the things that you want out of life, right? It support those things. So if you go somewhere and say, hey, I want this, then I have the money to support what it is I want. But for some of us, we have put limitations. We have limited ourselves on the things that we want because we recognize that we have an issue. It's a hidden issue. I would love to address that issue. I would like to let you understand something, though, before I even address that issue and go further, is that we have a problem with the ship. We have a problem with the ship because we don't respect what we don't build. People come into your life, right? Family members, right? Friends, right? Whatever the position that they hold, it's either they don't respect what you built or you have a problem with respecting what you didn't participate in. For some of us, we went through a lot to build and get what we got, right? And I want to bust this thing before I go further and go into this area of your mind and understand that the ship, why do I say people have a problem with the ship? The ship was created to take you somewhere. The ship was created to take you somewhere. But before the ship take you somewhere, I need to first address you, because I'm going to point you to a place in your mind, in your life to recognize. So to help you recognize what self-awareness really is, right? It's called self-worth. When you ground yourself, right, using self-realization and understanding where you at in the role you play in the things you participate in, you begin to understand your self-worth. Worth meaning I know the value in what it took to become who I am. You see, for some of us and some of the people that's connected to us, we don't know the value of something. So we don't respect the value, the time that went into it. So we unclear with the worth. How much is this worth, right? So when we go in the store, how much is this jewelry worth? How much is this car worth on the market? How much is this building worth? Well, the only way to know what a building is worth is an appraiser has to come out, right? When an appraiser come out to appraise, it tells you exactly how much is worth, right? What are we talking about? We're talking about human capital. And when we're talking about human capital, it's the things that brings the value up in the human being. You see, the world is not made, it's being made. How is it being made? By human beings. Two ways: ideas and conversations. So right now, I'm hoping that in this conversation, I can change some of the things that been bringing your value down. Like what? Like loneliness, like confusion, like anger, like frustration, all these things that gets in the way of you and you understanding what your self-worth is. You was created by a manufacturer. Your manufacturer is what made you who you are today, right? So let's go further. Understanding what? Self-worth. When you understand self-worth, then you know what you bring to the table, because at the table is where you build your ship. The ship is being built to take you somewhere. So let's go somewhere. Everybody, welcome to the Mighty Monday Meltdown. This is where we melt down anything that will hinder us and keep us from moving throughout the course of this week. Right now, I look to break everything down. I look to break everything off, and I want to bring the value up on not just you, but on me as well. If the value go up on you, then the value go up on me. It goes up on anything that connects to you will be affected by you. So let's get the value up right now. Let's go somewhere. It took for Noah. Now, I don't like to keep talking about all these other characters that you don't know, but let's talk about you, right? Let's talk about you and let's talk about me. Let's talk about if we did build a ship. Why would we build a ship, right? Let's use Noah in this scenario. Noah was building a ship because the creator who created him said, you got to build something to get out of this. Now, what was going on in the process? It was people all around. People was being married. People was having a good time. People had nice things. They was dressing up. But one person was told to build something. Today, that one person is you. Today, that one person is me. What are we building? We building the ship. Why do we have to build the ship, right? Because we need to go somewhere. So my name is AJ. I call a timeout on my life. We right now is in the huddle. And what I want to use is my relationship that I have and invite it into the huddle. So what? So I can bring the value up in all of us. I recognize without my relationship, my self-worth is low. I don't have no worth because I would just be a human being. But when I invite the spirit, the relationship that I have inside of me, then I bring the worth to the people that I'm engaging around. So what I look to do now is let the spirit use me to connect to some of you and then hope that some of you can connect back to me. Well, guess what? This is the key to what we need to do. As you journey with me and I journey with you, I'm letting you understand what self-worth. But if we take the word worth and break the TH off, it's WOR. Put that with the ship. And now we understand what worship is. Worship releases things. Worship gets you to a better place. You see, the one who created you, you have to worship. When you understand that he brought you out of some of the things that you put yourself in, you didn't have him in you, so you brought the value down in you. But now that we bringing him back in you, then now we have to worship the one that got you out of all the things that you've been stuck in. Let's stop for a second. I know it seemed like I'm talking a little bit quick, but right now I'm trying to let you understand we are on to something right now. We are going somewhere right now. We have to build something. I will hope that what we build is a ship, and if we get on this ship, then we can go somewhere. But we have to understand what your worth is right now, because everybody ain't getting on where you going. Some people, their time is up. Your circle had to decrease in order for the value in you to increase. And that means your value going up as a what? As a human being, right? Your human capital is going up. The way you communicate now. Why? Because you can now hear the inner voice, right? The inner voice is giving you inner strength, right? Now you okay with being by yourself. So you have what? Inner peace, right? Now when you get around other people, you don't know them. They don't know you. They ain't asking you no questions. You ain't asking them no question. Because why? Because you in the right inner circle. So now you enter into an inner space. And now that you see that we are worshiping because we own a ship. I told you people have problems with the what? With the ship. And they have to understand something. Once you get your value up, then you understand what it is to be a friend, because you was a what? A friend to yourself. Now that you understand that your value is going up, right? Your stock is going up because you don't talk the way you used to talk. You don't move the way you used to move. You don't go the way you used to go. This is the wrong time to pretend like you got it all all together. You don't. You didn't have it together. I didn't have it together. But I tell you one thing, we can take the alternate route. That's why we taking a time out right now. This is Chicago streaming all over the world. This is where we at. This is how we have to do it. We come together for a good time, not a long time. So we strip back and take off all the things that's held us down. The only one that kept us down was ourselves. We did not understand who we was. So we didn't represent whom's we was. Silly of us. But now that we are here, now that we are in a new place, now that we understand that we building a ship, but we understand the worth. Why? Because when we was building the ship, we knew we took our time. We knew we made sacrifices. We knew we didn't go some of the places that we could have went. We knew we took time to learn and educate ourselves. Educate ourselves on what? No, not educate ourselves on how to fix a car, not educate ourselves on how to do some hair. Educate ourselves on how this thing works, how this thing called life works. And the only way you're going to know how life works, you're going to have to take a time out. Today, you guys, we call a time out on a battlefield. The battlefield is called life. Whose life? It's your life at stake right now. Everybody that's connected to you will be affected by you. But if you don't allow me this opportunity to get something greater inside of this huddle, inside of this circle, onto this feed line, something that's authentic, something that's real. This is no goodness of my own. This ain't something that I can do on my own. I have to make sure that the flow is right and the room is right. In order to sit here and bring the value up in who you are, you got to first ground yourself. When now that we have grounded ourselves, we understand that you have to be a friend to self. Now that when you connect to someone else, immediately you have a friendship. And that means you can go somewhere. It's built on something. That means they make contributions. Why? Because the value is up. We got to stop sitting here clicking up with people who bring your value down. They bring the worst out of you and you blaming it on what? On them? No, you got to own that thing. The only way to correct anything is to own it. Own it. Without no convictions, there'll be no correction. So at this point, let's go. We have to recognize the ship. So I want to open myself up and I have to make sure that the room stay regulated. I believe that in this thing called life, you're going to need to have a relationship with something greater than yourself. I believe in God. I believe that God has helped me. I believe that I hear him. I believe that that's my wife. That's my helpmate. Or maybe, guess what? It's what I think about him. That's why I'm worshiping him, because I know for a fact that he came down here and he did something for me that I couldn't do for myself. So in that case, that was a deal being made. See, it's now what I think about him, but truth be told, it's really what he think about you. You see, at the end of the day, I know what the people see when they see you, because the custom of your culture has definitely damaged you. It shortchanged you. It was the culture. And guess what? I'm not talking about black people. I'm not talking about white people. There's a culture that has adopted to a custom that's called this just the way it is. And no, it's not the way it is. It don't have to be this particular way. Today we will become a foreigner. So let me get this spirit on deck with us. God, we come before you giving you glory, honor, and praise. We take nothing for granted, not even this moment with you. God, I appreciate everything that you continue to do in me and through me to make sure that those that are drawn on to me, those that are able to connect to me, that they receive power, they be refreshed, they be refueled, they get what they need. So when they leave up off of this feed line, off of this channel, they don't feel depleted. They feel completed. Completed by who? Completed by you, because we understand that you're bringing the value back up in who we are right now. That's why I ask you, God, assist us in this moment to release what? Titles, to release what? People, to release what? Family, to release what? Position, because we need to take a new position, God. So we asking that you will open up the alternate route. If you give us this alternate route, then we can see another way to make this thing happen for us, that we will worship you. We will give it all to you, because it's all about you. You are the creator. We made choices and decisions, but we can identify now that you wasn't in none of the choices and none of the decisions that we've been making. So right now we decrease and we ask that you will increase in this huddle right now. Shake anything and everything that will hinder us, loose anything and everything that will stop us, disable anything and everything that will keep us from being activated right now. We don't want to be blind. We don't want to be blind to the fact that without you, we can't see. Without you, we don't know how it's supposed to happen. Without you, that's what left us in bad areas, bad places. And now guess what? We done birthed situations that we wasn't even ready for. Some of us, God, we had children that we wasn't even ready to nurture because we didn't practice. We didn't practice what? We didn't practice on who we should be. We didn't practice on being what we want to see in the world right now. We was already in the world doing what the world do. But today, as we come back, as today, we ain't trying to play with this thing. We asking that you will reevaluate who we are right now. You will take this moment into consideration right now. You will look at the facts right now. You will look at the teachers right now. You will look at the preachers right now. You will look at the institution right now. You will look at the community right now, and you will take that into consideration. We know that you chose us to be there because that's why we was there. But today we identify where we was at. And some of us, we still here. That was the culture that we created right up in there, up in the culture. The culture is where we got locked in, the custom. This is the way we date. This is how our marriages run. This is why cheating is so huge. But God, we recognize right now, it wasn't even no word called cheating in your scriptures or in your book or in your Bible. You told us to keep our eyes on you. Keep our eyes on you. And the first thing we did is took them straight off of you because we didn't know what to watch. We didn't know what to look for. We say we love you and hate the one we see. We say we love you and hate the parents you put over us. But today we bring all that back down and we ask that you will do a sweep any and everything right now. God, have your way inside of this huddle, inside of this timeout. Why do y'all think it's called the Monday Meltdown? Because he know we're going to need some help to get through this week. If you even think you moving forward, we're going to have to call time out. We're going to have to readjust. This is where it gets real at. This is when it's about you. This is when it's about you. This is when it's about you. This is when you ground yourself. This is when you manifest who you should be. This is when you put the invisible crown, not just on your conscious mind, but it's going on your subconscious mind, which will be considered as your heart. As a man thinking in his heart, so is he. This is when you humble yourself and decrease so your value can go up. Amen. As we shift, guys, as we shift in this segment and in this point, I like calling this flipping the script, right? We got to flip the script because for some of us, we have all type of people on this feed line that's coming online on this channel. I will only hope that you will share the work because if you can't hear it, somebody else can. He's doing something new. He's doing something new in you. But if you keep conforming to your old ways, if you keep getting stuck in religion, talking about it ain't about religion, it's about relationship. How? The relationship is right here. The relationship is right now. I Am My Life Coach is the manifestation of the relationship. It is when you become not the follower, you become the leader. We on here because we are all leaders in a time out. Ain't nobody better than nobody. We come in as human beings that all made mistakes. Some of us, we signed up for stuff, right? And we couldn't even maintain what we signed up for. People got married and guess what? Give me a divorce. Why? Because God wasn't in it. What you looking for is in heavenly places. What you want is in heavenly places. Your business is in a heavenly place. Your husband, your wife is in a heavenly place. Anything that you want, your education is in a heavenly place. How do you get to a heavenly place? You're going to have to build a ship and you're going to have to ship yourself there. You're going to have to cruise yourself there. But the only way, first thing first, I gotta let you understand, human capital is about bringing up your worth. And when we take the TH off and put it on the ship, then we gotta be able to worship where we going. We gotta be able to worship who brought the value up in you. You gotta understand what self-worth really is all about. Self-worth leads to self-respect. People gonna have a problem with the ship because they don't respect who you are. But I'm telling you now, you gonna have to respect you before somebody else respect you. Don't demand outwardly what it has been called inwardly. Right now, you're releasing too much. This is the build up for the grand finale. This is the build up for where you're going. A lot of us, we waiting on 2021. I'm so glad for 2020 to be over. I'm here to let you know 2020 will never be over. 2020 will never be over. But if you want your situation to change, it can change now. It can change today. God, what type of God do you serve that you got to wait till the year end? The world says the year end, December 31st. God said your year end when you ready to open up your eyes and recognize today is a new day for you to get to a new level, to be a new you. All you need to do is don't connect yourself to those that take the value out of who you are. What do I mean by value? Let's go deeper. You see, as he bring the value up in you, you understand self-worth. But another thing you also understand, there has to be a relationship. There has to be a relationship with him and him with you. You have to know what you know in order to have the confidence that you need. And now that you out, and we still in the huddle, but now that you out, when you connect with somebody, you have no problem because the relationship that's in you connects to someone else, and they have automatically what? A relationship. Give and take. You need it in order to give it. But most people, we looking for it. We wonder what it's going to take. Who you in a relationship with anybody? God. Well, I know God, but then if you know God, then why you asking crazy questions? Come on, y'all. We can't be stuck with crazy questions. You get a crazy question, you get a crazy answer. You do crazy things, you get crazy results. Today, we got to ground ourselves on purpose. This is all about the manifestation process. You think you want a relationship? You got to build that ship first. Let's go. You want a companionship? You got to be a companion before you can even get companionship, because what you going to give? What you going to bring? You see, some of us, we never practice not one bit on who we will be or what we will become. You see, we see the vision and he shows us the vision. He shows us what we can do. He shows us we can be a teacher to a principal. He shows us we can be no job till you got to create your own job. You see, for some of us, you want to be a president, you want to be a vice president, but you don't let people sit here and dictate how you going to get to where you need to be. Yes, they took the long route. You get the alternate route. They went to school, so they flashing degrees around you. All you did is went to Cook County. You went down there, you had a business name, you went and signed up, got you an LLC, and who did you make the president? You. Now guess who's a president? You. Now it's going to we have to figure out what type of president you want to be now. But you see, this is when your practice comes in. You see, some people got to wait on other people in order to sit here and get a promotion. You just got to go to the source if you have a source. That's why we have to take an alternate route. We've been stuck too long dealing with customs and cultures and customs that it done messed us up, confused us. Light-skinned people, dark-skinned people. At the end of the day, let's just connect to the fact that we just people right now. We people with a purpose, and our purpose is to succeed. Succeed in what? Succeed in every area that we even put our mind to, put our presence to. He's coming to evaluate us, and at the end of the day, what is it called? Before he evaluate us, you got to evaluate you. What is that called? That's called self-evaluation. This is when you evaluate yourself now. When you recognize that you ain't always made the best choices. When you recognize you ain't always made the best decision. When you recognize you messed up just like your children. You messed up just like the community. You messed up just like the people that was around you. But you didn't have to stay that way. Some of us, we got out and we moved to another place, but you thought he was going to leave you there? No, you have to come back and help. That's why we here. Don't you kill the help. We are the help. This is when I call flipping the script, you guys. Flipping the script. So I'm going to use the scriptures a little bit. But I was feeling that thing about building a ship so we can have companionship. But you got to first be a companion. You got to first make sure you show up qualified as a companion. If you think you're going to be able to get on the ship, because when Noah built the ship, it says everything that was around him drowned. That means that once the ship was done, then the rain comes. Once you get to a certain point in your life, then everything that was holding you back break off of your life. Come on, y'all. Let's go. Y'all ain't getting this relationship. Come on, friendship. Let's go, you guys. Y'all got that right? Other than that, why are we stuck on hardship? Hardship is you lacking. You lacking. That's hardship. That means who put you on hardship? He did. So you can recognize how much you have in you. Some of us, we have been handed over to hard labor, and we've been on a hardship for a long time. Some of you got bare minimum and you barely making it, but you so strong. You so strong. That's why this alternate route was created for you and me and other people just like you. We can't judge nobody because it's about self-evaluation. I judge myself before somebody else get a chance to judge my mental. We all been ignorant at some point because the custom and the culture left us to be ignorant on marriage, left us to be ignorant on a friendship, left us to be ignorant on what we should do. It left us ignorant. Ignorant is just a state of not knowing. You can't sit here and say count to 10 and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Say that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, people will give you all of that energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you believe it like, okay, calm down. Okay, you know how to count to 10. No, you don't. Let me hear that again. One, this is what some people do with their kids. Count to 10. They be like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you step in. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You give the answers instead of sitting here wondering who taught them this way. We can't keep giving people the answers. We got to also be able to teach them and assist them, address them with love, with peace, right? The same way that you want him to address you with love, with peace. So we going up to the scripture real quick, you guys. I call this flipping the script. What's going on, you guys? Don't y'all subscribe to this channel, right? Somebody need us. This is the Invisible Crown Army. Every one of you are enrolled. Whether you like it or not, you are on this feed, on this channel, because you are not part of the Invisible Crown Army. Now we're going to manifest self called I Am My Life Coach. That means a level of responsibility, accountability. We're going to be present in the things we do so we can hear the inner voice. Why the inner voice? Because the inner voice going to help us with this thing called self-worth. And when we understand what the worth is, then we'll be able to worship on that ship and go somewhere. Because for some of us, we ain't been nowhere in a long time. And it's about time we take a cruise. So let me help cruise you on to this next level, because we finna get ready and close out. Man, what's going on, everybody? Make sure you subscribe. And for those that's on Facebook, share the feed. It's gonna be on and popping. You got it? So we talking about Joseph, right? Let's go to Joseph. Joseph was a dreamer. He was a dreamer. But here's one thing about Joseph in his dream. He just saw a vision. But I'm here to let you know, even in this story with his vision went with somebody else. So he had the answer. If you look in scriptures and go to the dream that he read, right, or that he told, let's not go that far. Let's back up a little bit. Let's go back to Joseph real quick. Genesis 37, and I want to take you straight to verse 18 is where I left you off at last week. In that verse, right, it reads, when Joseph's brothers saw him coming, stop right there. People going to see you coming. Right. Why? Because you grounded, self-discipline. They're going to see you don't roll like they used to roll. You don't do the things you used to do. But some of you, we're going to have to get it together. Let me tell you something. Remember I told you about customs? Remember I told you about culture? It messed us up. We was ratchet back in the day. I remember female girls. They used to have this little game, right? And they'd be like, tell it, tell it. Tell it like it is. Tell it right. Remember this? You was telling, my name is whatever. Tell it. And I'm on the line. Tell it. I'm going to do this thing. Tell it. And with whatever sign, right? You see that sign, right? And you know what? And they be like, what? And you know what? And everybody be like, what? You see the people hyping you up to do what you shouldn't have done, right? And then you say, you keep coming in my face. You going to get met. You was already practicing what? Practicing to do the clap 20 years from now, to making it. You was already practicing back then what you was going to do. Oh, y'all don't believe me? Let's go further. Remember, ding dong, 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 ding dong. Your mama don't wear no ding dong. I saw it. How did you see her? You ain't see nothing. But see, back in the day when you was little, back in the day when you was cast out, back in the day, I just told you the customs, right? The customs went with the culture, and the culture was shaped by what? The community. I saw them when she took them off, right? She threw them in the air, right? It's like, are you serious? You was already talking about my mama drawers. It's like, it's bad enough you didn't get my drawers or you didn't see my drawers, but you done told me you seen my mama drawers. We was already ratchet. One more time. Remember back when the kid, and remember the girls used to be in the street and they do the little chant and they say, don't whip me high, whip me low. Don't forget, and the girls be pumping up. Don't forget the roll. Don't roll me high, roll me low. Don't forget the jack. Don't jack me high, jack me. Already 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old. This thing was already in the working right now. What am I saying? Culture and custom done messed us up. Forget everything else. Get back to what people not talking about. Get back to what the church is not talking about. Get back to what the news is not talking about. The government is not talking about. The schools is not talking about. Your community is not talking about. Your parents not talking about. Culture. Culture, custom. We've been customized for failure, but today we finna be redirected. Come on now. Let's use Joseph and his dream. He said they saw, when his brothers and them saw him coming, right? Listen, they recognized him in the distance. You see, some of you, You getting ready to be released. This is your grand finale. You're not waiting till 2021 to get it popping. You getting it popping immediately. We getting it popping immediately. Soon as we get up off of this thing, soon as this is over with, it's gonna happen to us tonight. We don't have no God that we got to wait on 2 weeks to the year end. And then the world say, Happy New No. Happy New Day. Today was the day that the Lord had made. What did he made it for? He made it for you and he made it for me. That's what I do know. Come on, that's self-worth. And when you understand self-worth, move the word self. Let's get back to worth. Put the worth, take the TH out, put it to the ship that we just built, and we finna worship. Worship what? Worship him for taking us to another place. We don't know how we gonna get there. Remember, Noah got locked in. He didn't know where the boat was going to stop at. But I tell you one thing, he was in a new environment. A lot of us, we don't know where we going to go. Now, guess what? Look at Joseph. He in the same place right now. Watch this. The brothers, they was shepherds. They was older. I was younger. Joseph was sent to what? To go give a report. Some of you supposed to go give a report, meaning you supposed to see what's going on and recognize I'm bigger, better, and greater than what I've been around at, what I'm connected to. These people, this environment, they ain't going nowhere. Everybody hating on my workout. Everybody hating on my little money. I ain't even got to where I'm going. My little car breaking down. Everybody laughing at me, right? But you got to go back and give a report. Give a report back to who? To the one that created you. You have to give a report. But this time, Joseph, his brothers now, they recognize him. I'm on verse 18. At a distance, and as he approached, you see, as you approaching the point of no return, because you now ain't going back. You ain't going back now. So some of us, we playing double dutch. We like, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I do it? Because I know if I get over here, I can't do this no more. And you see, that's what keeps us on hold, because we like some of the stuff that keep hurting us, that keep pulling us back, that keep killing us, right? It killing the spirit that's in us. But today, no, we going forward. Ain't no retreat. There's no going back. We have to take this mission. We have to take this alternate route, right? We have to take this alternate route. So now that we on the alternate route, let's go. Joseph, they saw him coming. And when they saw him coming, right? They saw him coming. They made a plan to kill him. They made a plan to kill him and compromise his transition, right? His transition to what? To go give the report back. See, once we kill him, because we don't like him and he got a special assignment that we don't have, then they said, you know what? We're going to plot to kill, right? So watch this. Here he comes, the dreamer. Here she comes, the one who thinks she all that. The one who thinks she had good parents. See, some of you had mothers and fathers. I'm here to argue this point. Some of you, your parents was married when they had you. So at the end of the day, how the heck did you get in these bad places that we in right now? How did you get so much ratchetness in you when you know your parents was like this? You and your parents was like, I had my mama and my dad. So everybody is not in the same category. Some people are educated on this feed and on this channel. Some people they just made a little hiccup. And if it ain't you, it's the ones that's connected to you. That's what caused the damage, because that's what caused the damage, right? So watch this. Custom and culture is what offset your teaching. But I'm here to let you know today we ground ourselves, and this is what he did so we can have this relationship that will bring the human capital back up in us. It says, come on, y'all, let's kill him. Let's throw him into this stern right now, right? So what ends up happening in this story, somebody tried to jump in and say, no, we're not going to do that. Let's just do this, right? So at the end of the day, verse 23, so when Joseph arrived, put your name there. So when you arrive, so when Adonis arrived, see, there's a certain place and a certain point that when you arrive, today we arrived at the point, I see clocks, I see everything. We arrived at the point that we got to do something better, right? It says, guess what? There ain't going to be no water. So for some of us, we thirsty right now. We hungry. We done arrived at the point where your watering days is over with. This is nobody carrying you. You being lonely, that's over with. You gonna stick this one out. This role is meant for you. This battle is meant for you. You was built for this. You will be built by this, but this is the only way to fulfill where you going. People gonna have problems with the ship, but guess what? You don't have no choice in the matter. You gotta get to where you need to get to. So as I close out, right? As I close out, what they end up doing, they end up selling him. And when they sold him, right, I'm just going to follow his story. Let's just follow his story. When they sold him, right, when they sold him, Do you not know he had to ride in a tight place by himself? When they sold him, don't you understand? For you were sold into custom of a community, and the culture has overtaken you, that now you like what you shouldn't like, and what you like won't get you where you going. Come on now, y'all. That little twerking ain't gonna get you to the heavenly place, to the other side. You need a ship for a relationship. You need a ship for a friendship. You need a ship for companionship. You need a ship for partnership. Other than that, you're gonna be on hardship, facing hard time. And right now, we got to get up out of that, right? So what ends up happening with Joseph? Amazing. By himself, getting carried, getting sold. Now he's in somebody's house, working in a house that's not his. And guess what? Everything was good. But guess what? Even in that situation, there was something called customs. There was something called culture that was going on inside of that house, right? Let's look inside of the house. Let's take a peek in the window for a second. He was working in the house and two people was married, right? Now, Joseph, he come from out in the field. He didn't see what was going on here now. Now, this person that's in place, they got slaves. Joseph didn't know nothing about a jail. So what you mean I'm going to jail? Wait a minute now. Notice his wife, the wife was committing adultery. Nobody talk about her, right? Joseph resists. But what she did was normal. Yeah, you got a husband, you in a relationship, but you want to sit here and you want to mess with me, but you done already said, I do. You done had all this house is yours, everything yours. I'm sitting here working. One day I'm going to find what's mine. But right now, don't take my options away from me. And guess what ended up happening? He took his clothes off because this is time for a transformation. Come on, y'all. Tear off some of the old stuff that held you back. Tear off the fact that what you did back then, you wasn't ready for. You didn't have what it takes to get you where you was trying to go. You was pretending. You was pretending, playing church. You and your significant other. He didn't have the spirit. You didn't have it either. Y'all was just there learning. And then soon as the hit came, boom, everything came crumbling down. Soon as you tried to get the house and this and that there, and soon as you got laid off, boom, everything came tumbling down. Why? Because you got to tear off what was, because it's time to go to a new place. Now that you got transported here, now you got to get decreased now. Now you got to go down in a dungeon now. Now you got to go to a lower level. Can some of you swim low? Can you hold your breath? Can you go deep? Can you go deep when you was violated? Can you go deep when you was betrayed? Can you go deep when you was outcast? Can you go deep when people sit here and wrote you off, said you never was going to be nothing? Guess what? And you've been since then trying to make yourself into something. You've been trying to like yourself based on what you see and not what you know. Where is your confidence at? Your confidence can't be in your makeup. Your confidence can't be in your hair. Your confidence got to be in your understanding that you have self-worth. Why? Because he came and got you and started working on you. Now, but you see, we have two problems and I'm done. Two more problems and I'm done. You see, it's a lot of the times God, he ain't looking at your ability. He's looking at your availability. But guess what? He's not looking at your ability, because truth be told, your ability, you ain't got the ability to accomplish anything. You don't have the ability to be successful at what you're doing. Why? Because you don't have the ability of keeping your mouth closed. You don't have the ability of keeping your business to yourself. You don't have the ability of being by yourself. You don't have the ability. You get what I just said? You see, some of us, we give everything out and we don't take nothing in. We don't get around the right people so we can learn how to build ourselves up, get strong in him, get the self-strength, the inner strength that we need, right? So what? We don't have the ability to hold on to a little money, the ability to take it slow till we understand where we going. The ship, I got to make sure this ship get to the destination. We done already jumped in and started doing what we do. We done already jumped in and done sabotage. The ability has been compromised. Come on now. So he said, I ain't looking for your ability. I'm looking for your availability. Because if he comes into your situation and bring your self-worth up, now you have the ability to understand that I don't have to be held back by the things that I used to be stuck in. I don't have to be connected to anything. All soul ties come down. Anything I say loose is loose. Anything I say open is going to open. Move. But see, you can't sit here and have a desire for something that don't mean you no good. Come on, y'all. Let's go. We got to get out and get up and get over to the other side. And how we going to get there? We got to build this ship. And right now we cruising to it. But you see, ability, Available. He said, you just got to be available for what? Be available to be grounded. Be available to understand your self-worth. Be available to know how to hold your position. Be available to help someone else. Be available. Why? Because if you understand the self-worth in you, then you will understand the value, and you will have to be a witness for what done helped you. You understand that? Relationship. The relationship is what you bring. The relationship is what you have. The relationship is the power that you didn't give yourself, but somebody gave it to you. Come on, y'all. Yay. Ability, availability. Because now once you become available, you going to get the download. You going to get the upload. You going to get access. You going to get the words. You going to get the power. You going to get the strength. It's all on you. What leader you waiting on other than yourself? It is your time now, baby. You are the one that's about to shine. Why? Because you the light, and the light can't be hidden, but you moving in the midst of darkness. So even the light can go to the darkness and still be the light, but the darkness cannot come to the light and still be darkness. You see, you can be smart and educated, and you can play dumb, but you can't be dumb and think you and try to play smart. Some of us, we've been pretending too long, and it held us in a position too long, and we've been weakened by customs and culture. Joseph was sold into slavery, and when he got there, custom and culture, first time he seen this stuff, he said, take him to the jail. He didn't know what a jail looked like. Okay. He down here looking like he's still telling dreams, and God was with him, and God is with you. He's with you today. You guys, I want to thank everybody for joining in. Listen, my name is Adonis D. Johnson, right? I talk what I know based on the experience. Some of us, we have so much experience, but we didn't take the time to understand the experience that we have. We've been charged now at this point to manage the experience that we have. We have to manage what comes out of our mouth, manage the relationship, manage the partnership, manage the position that he's placing you in as this point called self, by grounding yourself. I wrote a book, workbooks. These books is from 4th grade to 12th grade. It's the groundbreaker for starting a solid foundation, which is what we need. We all need a solid foundation. I'm not here to preach about a foundation. I'm here to teach you how to build your foundation. And the first way to build the foundation is we have to dig down. Dig down meaning you have to go back. You have to dig back into some of the stuff that you was in and change the narrative. As I said, is man or woman capable, the modern day man and the modern day woman capable of having a relationship? The answer is no. But if you do want to have this relationship that you would like to have, we will have to first go 2 ways. It's called the alternate route. One way, you got to go back into your past and address who you was in that relationship. Don't tell me you gave it all, because if you gave your all in your past to a relationship, then what you telling me is you did not have management skills. You wasn't good over your time. You wasn't good over your body. You wasn't good over your credit. You wasn't good over your mind. You wasn't good over anything. You wasn't good over your heart. So let's be honest. You was not mature. So you have to go back and change the narrative. Now that you understand that it was you, not them cheating. Because guess what? They wasn't ready either. You wasn't ready for a cheating man, and a man wasn't ready for a woman that was faking like she was solid. Come on now. You can't fake this thing. This thing here, to get to heavenly places, you need a ship. We got to identify. We both right here, and if we getting over there, we got to build something. That means you ain't got nothing, I ain't got nothing, but the idea we can work on a day-to-day basis, right? So what did I do? I helped created this book with my co-author, Michelle Jones. Self-management, self-control, self-empowerment, self-development. This book is a good foundation for you as well as your children. Adults, you can use these workbooks as well. I also wrote the book, I Am My Life Coach. If you have not picked the book up, it's on Amazon. You can find all these items on Amazon. I Am My Life Coach, about being self-aware, and you have to self-manifest. This is the SIP process, SIP, self-improvement project. That means when you self-improve, that means you don't need no distractions. So we get to places, we get to areas where we remove all distractions. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel below. On Facebook, please share the feed. I want to thank everybody for taking this journey with me. And Joseph, we will pick this thing up, God's will, God's way, the next time we meet at the 7 o'clock hour. Peace and blessings, everyone. I hope you guys learned something as I use my power coaching techniques to help shift us. If you don't speak the words, then how are you going to know where we're going? You have to speak that thing as not as though it were. You have to speak with power as well as conviction. That's the only way we're going to see what the alternate route looks like. And we're going to get there. Thank you guys today. Ignorance lose, knowledge wins. Keep that in mind. Peace and blessings. You guys enjoy. We're going to sign off first on YouTube. How do I sign off on YouTube? In streaming. Make sure you subscribe, YouTube. What's going on?